injection inside or almost a cleaning, because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that.
So yesterday, Donald Trump floated a new idea to destroy this coronavirus, to cleanse people of the virus. Let me first show you, before I get to his comments exactly, or his video, The Hill here with just a beautiful piece from his comments. Trump also suggested, he also talked about using light heat as coronavirus treatment. Trump also suggested the possibility of injecting disinfectants as a treatment. Quote, maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'm not a doctor, but I'm like a person that has a good you-know-what, Trump said, pointing to his head. I'm a person that has a good you-know-what. Okay. I debated watching this video because there's actually a hilarious rendition of it from a comedian that I'm going to show you in a minute. But let's watch Trump's comments here.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful.
Okay. He is suggesting to use disinfectant in the human body, injecting it in some way, or consuming it. Well, I'm going to get to his follow-up in a minute because he pretends that he didn't actually mean what he said here. I will get there. First, a response here from Lysol as one example, one company that came out and wanted to ensure people were aware to not use their product in their body. NBC News reporting on their quote, under no circumstance should our disinfectant products be administered into the human body through ingestion, or any other route, a Lysol spokesman says. Just so we're all clear, do not put Lysol or any disinfectant that is meant for cleaning the house in your body. I can't believe I have to say this. Now, the New York Times, I have to just share this because this is another aspect of this whole story, is how it's covered by the New York Times. I was going to say journalists at large, but really it's the New York Times, for as far as I've seen, that only did this. They tweeted out, we've deleted an earlier tweet and updated a sentence in our article that implied that, quote, only some experts view the ingestion of household disinfectants as dangerous. To be clear, there is no debate on the danger. So this is the both sides reporting. I mean, this is, I guess, as far as you could possibly take it, where you still have to imply that, only some experts are saying that you can't ingest bleach. Like, they really, this is really the fault of journalism schools, how these journalists are taught. They're taught to play this neutral game. I know this because I know people as well that went to school for reporting, for journalism. They're taught to play this neutral game where there's both sides to every story. This is what they're told. There's both sides to every story. Make sure you represent both sides. So what they do, even in this case, is they represent both sides. They represent the side where obviously you cannot inject cleaning supplies into your body. And then the other side where Trump says, oh, maybe it's a good idea. I don't know. We got to look into it. They represent both sides. What journalists should be doing is looking at the objective facts, reporting on the objective facts. Now, in some cases, they're a little better at that than others. Usually when it comes to politics, they are the worst at this both sides crap, where they act like both, say, in the primary, both the idea that Medicare for all is the obvious solution to healthcare is represented equally as, well, actually, private healthcare, other experts say this private healthcare system is fantastic. Oh, maybe we should also mention these experts that say the private system is great, just happen to be paid by the health insurance industry. Like, they act like there is two sides to every story when there is not. And if you want to represent all sides, fine, but give full context. Like, give the context of the people that are on the other side that are fighting back against what is best for people. Like, again, I know I always go back to Medicare for all, but it's the perfect example because Medicare for all is proven, or at the very least, a single payer system, a universal healthcare system is proven all over the world. But only in the US is it a debatable topic, when it is not at all debatable when looking at the facts. Media has to represent people, the best interests in people at large, not just two sides of every story. Now, I want to bring some comedy into this. This was posted by Sarah Cooper. She did her own rendition of Trump's words here. I was almost just going to play these, her words, her version of them, as it's the most enjoyable way to absorb Trump's insanity. But let me play it here as I thoroughly enjoyed this.
We hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
Oh my God, that's great. I mean, it just. This is why I really don't cover Trump very often, because he is so clearly crazy. Like, so when I cover him, it's mostly because I find I want to laugh at something. So Trump is hilarious. So I'll cover him for those purposes. Or at least I should say his comments for those purposes. Obviously, when it comes to policy, you want to be a little more, that stuff is, you do have to cover what he's actually doing to people in terms of policy. But when his comments like this, they make big headlines, they become big stories. Ultimately, he's an idiot, and he's going to say these dumb things all the time. And he's also not going to own any of it. Here he is today responding to reporters asking him about those remarks.
I was asking a question sarcastically to reporters like you just to see what would happen. Now, disinfectant for doing this, maybe on the hands, would work. And I was asking the question of the gentleman who was there yesterday, Bill, because when they say that something will last 3 or 4 hours or 6 hours, but if the sun is out or if they use disinfectant, it goes away in less than a minute. Did you hear about this yesterday? But I was asking a very sarcastic question to the reporters in the room.
Okay, that's not what was happening. He was asking the question to his experts, his own experts in the room. That's why he kept looking to the side. He wasn't talking to reporters, and clearly he wasn't being sarcastic. But I mean, what's he going to say? Is he just going to admit, yeah, I'm an idiot? No. So he's going to try and cover it up in some way. This man is just totally insane. Like, this is funny, but at the same time, understand there are people out there that may actually take him seriously, that hang on to his every word. I mean, you saw with that couple that used that other hydroxychloroquine, whatever it was, and I believe the husband died. Like, there are people that will actually listen to they will take what should be doctor's advice from Donald Trump, and they will listen to him and use his treatments. Now, I really hope enough people know they can't disinfect their body with bleach or Lysol or whatever. But at this point, I wouldn't be surprised.